special creepypasta today. It is called Plankton Got Served. But before we move into my evil agenda for today, I would like for you to comment, subscribe, and like this video if you can. So today, we are going to be doing Plankton Got Served, a SpongeBob SquarePants creepypasta, and where Plankton kills himself. Yeah, really, we're going down the same road here. And you're probably going to think I'm going to hate this creepypasta, but not really. No, I think it's a pretty good creepypasta. And it is a good creepypasta. But I'll explain why after the reading. I am sure many have heard of lost episode creepypastas. They are usually an incredibly graphic episode that conveys such fear for children that it was never aired. Though someone managed to sneak a viewing or owns one of the tapes. The most popular example of this is Squidward's suicide, in which Squidward commits suicide, hence the title. Of course, all these creepypastas are false, yet I remember a SpongeBob episode that was altered heavily, but still remains in circulation today. This is One Coarse Meal from Season 7. In the episode, Mr. Krabs finds out that Plankton is horrified of whales and uses it to his advantage. This is one of the least popular episodes of the show due to the dark nature of the episode, even after the episode was heavily altered. Now, how would I have seen this episode before it was edited? It's simple, really. This was one of the 7 SpongeBob episodes that was revealed on the internet before it aired on TV. Always a big fan of the show, I was excited at the idea of having the SpongeBob episode premiere on the internet before television. I rapidly reloaded the Nick page and finally the episode came up. It was known as Plankton Got Served, though it was eventually changed. Most of the episode is identical to the one that is circulated today. Plankton manages to break into the Krusty Krab and ties up Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob. As he is about to finally get the secret formula from SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs' daughter Pearl walks in. This terrifies Plankton and causes him to run out. Plankton later claims his ancestors were eaten by whales, and that is why he fears them so. Mr. Krabs realizes this fear that Plankton has and decides that they use it against him. He dresses up as his daughter begins to follow Plankton around, frightening him. Plankton decides he can no longer take it and decides to make the ultimate decision. Plankton decides to commit suicide. Yes, this is still in the show today. You are free to watch it. Plankton waits for the bus as he lies in the street, waiting to get run over. That is when SpongeBob comes over to try to convince him to continue his existence. This is where the alterations in the 2 versions begin. Plankton fails to heed SpongeBob's words and remains there. In the altered version that was shown, SpongeBob tells Plankton that it was Mr. Krabs' pull the entire time, and he gets up. In the altered version, SpongeBob says the same things, but Plankton refuses to believe him. SpongeBob decides that the only thing he could do to show him the truth is to drag Mr. Krabs outside. Soon after he leaves, the typical red bus comes speeding along. Plankton sits up and watches it hit him as everything fades to darkness. Plankton finds himself standing on a single platform overlooking darkness. In the darkness, he sees whales all looking up at him. They are members of his family he can faintly make out calling for him to jump down. Plankton looks above and sees a light he could scarcely believe. This would seem to represent heaven and hell. Plankton, resigned to his fate, jumps and plunges down into the darkness. This is when the episode ends and the traditional credits for the show are shown, parallel to Plankton's descent into the darkness. Now, some of you may say you saw the show as soon as it came available online. apparently not fast enough. After seeing the episode online, I reloaded the page to find the altered version shown on the website. I kept reloading, curious of how I seen the first version. The only answer I can imagine from my viewing of the original episode was that the creators uploaded the wrong file, and moments after uploading it, recognized as such. I may be the only one who saw this version. I truly do not know the sick ambitions the creators of SpongeBob had in mind with this episode. Why would the creators show portray death? Why would a kids show portray heaven and hell? Nonetheless, the unaltered version is impossible to find. I search as hard as I can, and I have failed to find anything legitimate about the episode I had seen. People have told me that I've seen only the altered version, and they too were surprised at the dark themes portrayed in the episode. Nonetheless, I knew what I saw. I know people will fail to believe me. People will accuse me of just trying to scare people. People would say I have no evidence. There are no photos. There is no video evidence of this occurrence. I only saw it once. And it never occurred to me to do such. I know the truth, and I want other people to know as well. Maybe someone out there saw this episode as well as I and could confirm it. Until then, I hope you enjoyed reading about my experience. So guys, what did you think of Plankton Got Served? I think it's a pretty good creepypasta because of its creepiness and, well, it added more depth to One Coarse Meal. This besides the Plankton Got Served original title card. It added depth in it, added heaven and hell, which, by the way, they already do in kids shows, I believe, like older kids shows like Adventure Time, for example. And Tom and Jerry is another example. They did that back in the day. But in SpongeBob, that would be pretty unusual. Then again, we have the Dutchman who's a little old dead human being. So yeah, SpongeBob can be dark sometimes. I think if that version of the episode ever fucking aired, it would be chewed up alive by everybody involved. Even Hillenburg would have hated that. And also, this might have been a storyboard jam of some sort. Like the incredible storyboard from the Rugrats, where the animators were just running off steam, you know. Yeah, so this could be a plausible story, including the online part, because I think this was put online at one point, because it was getting 2008-ish, the internet was popping off, and, well, it was actually a pretty good story in my opinion. So what else do I have to say about this creepypasta? It's interesting, and it does add depth, like I said beforehand. And the negatives. Let's get into the negatives. Grammatical errors, obviously, because, well, grammatical errors. So, yeah, that too. Plankton Got Served is actually very fucking popular. It was pretty popular back in its heyday. Like when Gory Parodies Productions covered it. Urdu Hoodlums Revenge. I think those are the only two channels that covered it until Shadow Reader came along and did that. So, it's a very well documented creepypasta, and I think the creepypasta is actually good, unlike Squidward Suicide, where you have Squidward commit suicide just because he was yelled at. So I think that Squidward to snap and do something else. Like Squidward beats up Scrollium or something. So yeah, enough about that. So this creepypasta is getting a rating of 8.5 out of 10. because of its creepiness. And it adds to the story of One Coarse Meal, which is a pretty bad episode, I do admit. But if that alternate ending got onto Nickelodeon, the writers would have been screwed. Or they would have covered it up in some way. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10, and I'll see you guys next time for my every episode of Powerpuff Girls Reviewed Season 4 and the Powerpuff Girls movie.